There was that movie in the 80s where like the house was haunted, right? I think it was a made-for-TV movie. And then like the guy was like assaulted by was it a succubus or an incubus? I'm not sure which one it was, but like on the made-for-TV movie, he was assaulted by a ghost. Do you remember this?
It sounds familiar, but I have no idea. It's got to be one of those just goofy shows.
Like
Goofy
it
movies.
wasn't a comedy though. They were like treating like, oh, it's scary. Oh man, now I gotta look it up.
No ideas.
I thought for sure Dad would remember this.
God, I've seen so many movies with ghosts in it, you know.
The Entity.
Oh,
Barbara Hershey.
I think I watched it, but I don't remember anything on it.
So yeah, so if the ghost went, it's better over your shoulder than in your pants, I guess. At least somebody's in my pants.
Welcome to Skol Chat with Skota. We are a chat group created by four guys who are a blended family, not only through the traditional familial means, but also for the love of the game, specifically for our favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. We won't claim to be professionals, nor will we cover a lot of stats unless it is specific to the topics we'll be discussing. We are just four fans who get together to basically discuss all aspects of the team, from games, training, releases, signings, and the overall organization itself. Our name is derived from two of us who currently reside in Minnesota, and two of whom reside deep within Packer territory. This is not our livelihood, as we, like many of you, have busy lives, and what we hope to obtain are additions to our blended family by having you become a part of it. We have room to add a couple of you at a time during our errands and would like you to join us in our chat. As with any family, there will be happy times and sad times to be discussed and experienced. Although the game may only last a season, the desire for the game and the team is year-long. If you want to join us, please hit the subscribe button, follow us on YouTube, and give us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on your experience, and leave us a comment. If you'd like to join us during the show, contact us at the email link provided below.
Welcome to Skol Chat 35. In this episode, we'll cover the big signing of someone who might play quarterback for Minnesota Vikings this next season, along with other signings and potential signings. We'll cover trade rumors that have been bandied about, like that word bandied.
Yeah.
I heard it before, and I had to actually look it up to make sure it was a word.
What be that deep word?
Well, yeah, let's cover the trade rumors that have been bandied about, both trading for and trading away players. We'll provide an update on top 30 prospects who have been confirmed to have either the Vikings visited with or the Vikings, the players actually came on site. Then just for fun, we'll run through a couple of mock drafts. But before we jump in too far, if you like what you're seeing and like what you're hearing, please like and subscribe. We also have YouTube shorts. I started posting a few on Instagram shorts, posting full episodes here on YouTube, and audio and video on Spotify. So if you're over on those platforms, check it out. I was going to say the word content, but I hate that word, so I didn't say it, but I did say it. But with that said, let's jump into it. So the Vikings recently signed the big signing, potential quarterback, and that is Johnny Hekker, which, if you look at his stats, all the games that he's thrown passes and touchdowns and interceptions, it's probably a kind of a run-of-the-mill game for J.J. McCarthy last year. But seriously, though, we signed Kyler Murray last week. I guess it happened on Thursday, the day after we recorded the last podcast. Signed a one-year deal. I heard there was rumors about them talking about maybe doing 2 years, but they got him for the 1-year league minimum. The league for 7 years. Been hurt the last, 3 out of 4 years. Hasn't played a full season.
Well,
but
what I heard about 2 seasons, the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
Not counting the year that he ripped his ACL. When was that? Was that 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Well, I looked back at his stats, and he was hurt last year, only played, I think, the first 6 games. But the season before that, he played, I guess, most of the season because he passed for over 3,000 yards.
Okay.
But again, I might have looked at it wrong, because it was quick. Everything with me is quick, if you know what I mean. But no. But that's the point is he's been injured quite a bit recently on the past few years. But again, like in the first few years, he was a top 10 to 15 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he was he was a 4-time Pro Bowler.
Not Murray.
No, not Murray.
That's
Hekker.
who we're talking about, Tom.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. It's
Oh,
contagious.
I think it's the loop-de-loop that I threw you for.
The loop-de-loop. Yeah, you were talking about and then Kyle Murray. I got sidetracked. But so Kyle Murray, he was still a 2-time Pro Bowler, and he got the 1-year contract with us. But then we may lose him with how much they're looking at paying him next year.
Well, yeah, that's a thing. If he plays good this coming season and plays all 17 games and we get to the playoffs, he's going to be up there on the market for, that's if he can make it to a top 10 quarterback, then he's going to be wanting to rake in the dough, unless he really wants to play for the Vikings and go at a discount.
We'll see.
But
I
it's
see.
a big if. It's a big if. Oh,
It is absolutely. I see Kyler and JJ tug and war for who's going to miss the game and who's not going to miss the game. So you got Kyler that missed 21, and you got JJ that missed roughly 23, 25 games. That's why I was saying we'll have, the starting quarterback for 50 years.
that is true.
Well, then we have Johnny Hekker for the emergency quarterback situations.
You do a good job kicking that field goal.
Oh,
We're going to miss Ryan Wright.
I don't
He was a good
know what
punter.
I heard about Heckler. He it's been like 9 years since he did it, but kicked 70 yards, so punted, I should say, not kicked, but punt 70 yards. That's
I-
what I heard he done. Otherwise he'd been more or less a stable punter, hasn't he?
He does have a pretty steady kick return and, what do you want to call it? Your touchbacks and whatnot. He did have a pretty decent record as far as that goes. I'm not super familiar with him, but
Well, now since starting last season, you don't want to punt into the end zone. Otherwise, don't they get to bring it out to the 35, or is that only on the field goal?
I thought that was still the 10-yard line, is it not?
No, if it goes in the end zone, they bring it out to either the 25 or the 35. I can't remember on the punts. The kickoff, if it goes into the end zone, automatically comes out to the 35-yard line.
What? All these years I've been getting ticked off because I thought they were screwing us over, letting the other team start further ahead than they should be.
There you go. Yeah.
Learn something new.
The season before, it was only out to the 30-yard line. But since they redid the kickoff rule, well, they got in there close to
I think a punt, you still get spotted at the 20-yard line.
I don't know. I haven't
I think
really
you do.
kept track.
Yeah, no, it's just a kickoff. I think it's spotted at the 35.
I think you've all just messing with me now. Now we got 20 and we got the 35.
Well, you know what we completely spaced? The memes. I got some memes that kind of reminds me of one of the memes. But I guess before we get too far, we talked about Johnny Hekker. He's been in the league. I think he's 36. Ryan Wright was a good punter, and that's what I kind of talked about last week. Is that it's way easier to find a decent punter than it is to find a decent kicker. I guess we'll see. I mean, it matters. Football is a game of inches, so every yard on a punt matters. How far back you put the opposing team's offense. But with the signing of Kyler Murray, what does that tell you about how the Vikings feel? I mean, so we talked about the Vikings wanted a quarterback competition. They wanted to have better depth. There might be talk about bringing Carson Wentz back again. They'll have Brosmer.
Well, if they do that, okay, this is a scenario. They signed Murray. According to the report, O'Connell said a competition with McCarthy and Murray. Then the other scuttle is, okay, still talking about signing another veteran quarterback, possibly re-signing Wentz. Now, I guess depending on the training camp, if that's will happen that way, is McCarthy going to end up at the third quarterback, or are they going to end up trading him? Or does McCarthy went out and be the backup quarterback?
I think they'll run Kyler for first. JJ will be second. And then Wentz, if they decide to add a third, would be probably QB3. And then they would have to push Brosmer to squad.
Well, I think Yeah, week to week, it might be just, and in my opinion, I think Kyler is going to be given the first opportunity to start, even though there's going to be a competition. He'll be given the first opportunity to start, might be running with the ones. We'll see how it goes, like when they start, mini camps and start, the full training camp. But then week to week, Wentz and Brosmer might be on the practice squad. Because I don't think, after seeing Brosmer last year, nobody's going to want him. They were trying to protect him. That's why they kind of kept him. But I don't think anybody's going to really poach him after what they saw last year. And then I don't think anybody's going to try to get Wentz unless some other team has, like the 49ers a couple of years ago, where their two starting quarterbacks were injured and then they fell into what's his face, Purdy. But that's the way I see it playing out.
Yeah, good. Never know. Stuff changes.
And that doesn't mean that they've lost complete faith in JJ. They just don't think has enough experience. Just game experience. He only started one season at Michigan, and again, how young he is, and look at Aaron Rodgers. He sat behind Favre for how many years?
Wouldn't this be?
Love the same thing behind Rodgers,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is Love sat behind? Yeah, so again, just get some seasoning on him, and maybe Murray's around for 1 to 2 more years, and then it's JJ's turn. Because they have the 5th-year option for McCarthy, so they still have some time.
Who was it?
The thing is, all the talk about is, okay, what's Murray's good for? Murray is only like, what is he, 5'11"?
I don't know.
He's shorter than that, I think, or something like that, because there was talk about his height. And that's why a lot of times when he moves out of the pocket is so he could actually see downfield instead of,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he's 2 inches shorter. Yeah, he's listed at 5'10".
Yeah.
He's 2 inches shorter than Drew Brees. And that's always been the knock against, shorter quarterbacks. But how often have we seen these taller quarterbacks? I mean, I think a lot of it's arm angle and trajectory of the ball. And again, how deep you are in the pocket. There's too many times where quarterbacks try to get a little too comfortable in the pocket. There's a lot going on in front of them, and they're trying to throw the ball, and they're 2 feet from the defensive lineman. So, and then remember Doug Flutie? Flutie Flakes back in the day. He was only 5'9".
Yeah.
And he was like a CFL legend, and he played in the NFL for a few years, had some success with the Bills. But a lot of it's just in anticipation, not telegraphing your throws so the defensive lineman knows when you're throwing. And yeah, I think part of it, though, why he was out of the pocket a lot is because the line wasn't the best for the Cardinals.
Right.
But there is
then
concern.
again, if you have to look at it, look who drafted him back when Cardinals drafted him. Who was the head coach? Kingsbury. And that was what most college teams do is, what is it called? The first read,
Run pass option, RPOs.
Yeah, something like that. And that was part of the knock on Murray because that's all he'd done till the last 2 seasons when, what's his name? Gannon, was it the head coach?
Yeah, that sounds right. Mike Gannon, something like that.
Yeah. Well, then of course that was more of Shanahan and McVay offense type thing, almost like the combination. But okay, the bottom line is, like last season, Murray played behind multiple tight ends in Arizona, primarily because they didn't really have a receiver till they drafted, what's his name?
Harrison Jr.
Yeah. And, but still, and his, he's accurate with the ball and that, but he can't throw it deep, and that's what O'Connell likes, the quarterback that can throw a deep ball, so Murray's not, either he hasn't done it much or because of the receivers he had in the past, or he just can't, Anyway, I think it's gonna, my point is O'Connell will still have to modify his offense to fit what Murray can do, or
what he does better. I would get him some Gene Simmons themed cleats for the field, huh?
Yeah.
7-inch platform shoes.
Oh, I thought those were for Ron DeSantis down in Florida.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
lifts.
the thing is, he was the knock was the last 5 games or whatever, O'Connell had to dummy down the playbook for McCarthy and whatever, So yeah, everybody's vibe about O'Connell. All right, they work on this and that, Yeah. All right, is O'Connell gonna go? Hey, Murray, 3rd down and 1. I want to pass on this one. Go 20 yards, 25 yards. And guess what happens.
Well, I think one positive is that he does have touch on the ball, and that's a knock that we said against McCarthy, where he seems to want to fire everything in there. And again, any offense, I mean, you should build your offense, build your system. Well, you have your system. That's whatever, that's whatever McCarthy has, or O'Connell has, sorry. But you got to curtail it to the players you have and what their strengths are. And they do that a lot. They did that a lot with Kirk Cousins, like how many play action passes he ran.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was movement in the pocket, which if your line's not good, that's what you should have, which we kind of pretty sure I mentioned quite a bit that we weren't doing enough play action last year because it helps the quarterback. But yeah, we'll just have to see how things play out. But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Murray's going to be given the first chance to start, and JJ will just back him up for at least a year. But we
Yeah,
might be
I hope.
surprised. Maybe JJ works in the off season, figures out his mechanics, because I don't want to hear that again next year.
Right. And
Yeah.
be able to put touch on his passes,
Any
Well,
other thoughts on that?
I just hope, works out. I hate to see him give up on McCarthy, because hell, the kids, that's what he is, a kid. He's not coming in at the age of 24,
Well, there's some quarterbacks in the draft that are older than him, and he's been in the league for 2 years, or 3, going on 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, so we mentioned that they signed Johnny Hekker. They've also put an offer sheet on an offensive tackle. I think he's currently with the Bills. Ryan Van Demark, assuming it's a Dutch name, but it's just an offer sheet. So the Bills have an opportunity to match it. Not sure if then the Vikings can outbid them. I'm not sure, but usually I guess in those situations you would try to, just like you're buying a house and like, I don't know, you'd like, and there's other people competing, you'd offer more, than I guess in the asking price. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
after
that does happen. I do.
I think the Bills have something like 5 days or whatever to respond if they want to.
So I hear like right now, Brandel's slated in at the starting center position, so they don't have that swing tackle, or because they didn't re-sign Skol, so which might be
Yeah.
a good thing.
I think it would be a good thing. All depends if this guy, what I heard, I guess he doesn't, I think mostly he did the right tackle, but he did play a couple games at left tackle and he only allowed 2 pressures, I guess, but hopefully he's better than Skol.
So, and now I'm forgetting if we talked about it yet, or if we just talked about it before we started recording. What John brought up about Kevin Seifert's report about O'Neill and Addison. What was that, John?
they just had in there that they're budgeting to redo their contracts. Sounds like they want to keep Addison. And some people are saying, well, he's got a lot of off-field issues, but it hasn't been bad enough yet. Hopefully he's done. But
I was gonna say there's a lot of them that have the issues, but people still put them into play.
Well,
I
the
guess
thing is, too, they could extend Addison, but on the pretense that he doesn't have anything about being arrested for this or that or what have you, once he toes the straight line. Otherwise, if they have that in the contract and if Addison does whatever, then he loses the contract,
I'm sure that's gonna be in there. They ain't gonna say, "Yeah, you're guaranteed this amount." He goes and gets in trouble like in past. Not that he'll continue doing that, but they'll put something in there that hey, if you breach this part of your contract, you're default on it.
I think that'd be any team who'd offer him a contract at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be like, "Yeah, we'll let you play for us, but under these terms."
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the sentiment now, because they lost out on Naylor, that okay, yeah, they're going to re-sign him, but one more thing, one more arrest, one more, and I think, yeah, they'll look to trade him Which, after the Love Boat scenario situation, how many years ago, the Will still want that, that kind of name for the Vikings, and they've done a lot of work to distance themselves from the organization the Vikings were at that time. But the one thing that I liked hearing about, though, like with that report, is that the roster build for 2026 barely started, and who knows what that means, but that might be just they're going to be the draft and undrafted free agents, but I kind of read into it there might be some more moves, some more trade signings. So
Well, at one time, Gernard, right, our outside linebacker or edge. Well, there was some steam about like the Eagles wanted to trade for him or whatever, but that seems to quiet down a little bit. And I think the comment came out that the Vikings aren't too worried about if they can't trade him or whatever, that they can pay the 19, what is it, million or whatever it is, his contract for this year. So
yeah, I've never heard of a guy getting how many almost sacks and then wanting a raise.
yeah,
I almost had this many sacks. Now pay me more because I almost had them. But again, I talked about it last year. He was always there before he got hurt. He just wasn't able to, I guess, to tie the bow on it. Well, yeah, so that's kind of died down. And again, I mean, if they don't trade him, then he's got a season to prove it to get his next contract. And then there were the rumors about recently about the Vikings trading for the Miami Dolphins running back Devin Achane. And I think it really got started after they traded Waddle, their receiver, to the Broncos, and the fact that they're $135 million in dead cap. I mean, why wouldn't they trade the running back? But again, the Vikings aren't going to trade a first round pick for a running back. But again, that's the Dolphins have been reported as saying that they're not trading the running back. So saw that a couple of days ago, but I haven't heard anything recently.
I heard something about it that was broadcast yesterday or today. Trying to remember, but anyway, but what I heard wouldn't give him a first round for him, maybe a second round, but I think the talk was like, I would offer a third rounder for him, because going in the draft, like that was it Jeremiah, his first mock or whatever, or second mock, had the Vikings getting loved. So at number 18, and well, I think that's the only one that the Vikings would give a first rounder for. Otherwise, they can pick up a fairly decent running back in the second or third round, so.
Yeah, I could see a second rounder this year and possibly a future maybe third rounder, but not anything more than that.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, I heard something. Didn't the Dolphins give Waddle a contract like the what do you call it, number one receiver take, right?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think they were paying 30 million a year for him. Then they traded him because there was a comparison. Kind of drip I got. Actuality, Edison is a better receiver than Waddle. That's what I was going to ask you. I haven't seen that Waddle play much. I don't have a clue how he is.
Yeah, they signed him for a 3-year extension for 84, almost 85 million.
That's good.
And yeah, I don't know. Well, and we can't compare last year, and I think it's tough to compare his stats last year because Tua was hurt and they had issues with quarterbacks, themselves. But yeah, I mean, he had 64 catches last year and didn't break 1,000 yards, 910 yards, and had 6
Wow,
touchdowns.
that's crazy that he didn't break 1,000 yards.
But yeah, well then, so the Dolphins had Tyreek Hill too, and he's been cut by the Dolphins. So he
Wow.
was on the team too, so he was sharing catches, but he was, I think, hurt
Last
too.
year.
But yeah, and then I heard that there's some people talking about maybe the Vikings signing Tyreek Hill. I don't know about that though.
No, I don't think so.
They have enough
Okay.
issues with Addison bringing in
Yeah.
Tyreek. Talk about issues with the law.
Yep.
Well, and I think, have you heard anything else? Any other rumors? Any other whispers about possible trades?
No, the only other one I talked about earlier was Andy Dalton as far as QB goes, but he was already signed on, so he signed on
Which
to the Eagles.
I think if they bring in any other veteran quarterback, it has to be after KOC almost got Wentz killed. I mean, that's got to be something. They owe him another training camp, I think, at least.
I'm disappointed. I planned on getting maybe the Chicago Bears to give up one of their QBs. I thought for sure we were going to get one of them. All the scouting I did this year, lost hours, compensation. I'm still in debt.
Now
I
you're
don't
gonna
know
have to
if
find
I'm
a new
going
team. You're gonna have to find a new team to root for now, aren't you? Any
Yep.
team that doesn't sign Wentz, I'm not rooting for them. All right, so we can kind of move on to the top 30 visits. So, and you kind of mentioned it, a little bit about you don't need to spend a first round draft pick on a running back if Love's not available. Something tells me though, if even something crazy happens and Love is available, the Vikings still might not draft him. They might
I
draft
don't think
another.
Depends on what they
to
think
take Love.
they want or need right off the bat. So
Well,
when
that's the
they
thing.
think that can, come in training camp and start right away. That's been the problem with their past draft picks. They weren't good enough to start.
That or they're too good, so they don't have to go into training camp. They could just sit there and watch.
Like you?
Yeah. They trained me in well 4 days out of 5 days of the week.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the downside to drafting for need, right?
Yeah, it is.
But so I found this website that talked about they talked about top 30 visits, and I don't know if I thought the visits actually went on to the Vikings facility, and that was what was counted as the top 30 visit. But this site counts pro day, if you meet with the player at their pro day or whatever and talk to them, they consider that a top 30 visit. So
Do they really? Or is that the website itself? Or is that the Vikings way of saying theirs?
I think it's the website. I don't know, but I'll kind of talk about it. And we, talking about a running back, I'll go through the players that they kind of have listed. There's only a few, but Demon Clark, running back from Wake Forest, he was top 30 visit, and I think the Vikings have had a history of just meeting with these players that they think might not get drafted, just so they can develop a relationship for them to sign as undrafted free agents. So we've seen that in the past.
Yeah.
But Grayson Halton, a defensive tackle for Oklahoma. Chris Johnson, cornerback, San Diego State. Defensive tackle for Oklahoma. That was a pro day visit, not going to the Vikings facility. It said Damon Claiborne, the running back I talked about. That was an actual top 30 visit. So he actually went to the Vikings facility. Chris
Nice.
Johnson, the cornerback I talked about, is just a private workout. So either with some of the position coaches or somewhere along the lines. Tristan Lee, offensive tackle from Clemson, had a private workout and he visited for the top 30. Lance Mason, tight end from Wisconsin, was top 30 visit. Jake Pope, offensive tackle, Illinois State, was a pro day visit. And just recently, the U of M had their pro day, University of Minnesota, and they met with Devin Eastern, a defensive tackle for the Gophers. So that's who they have listed. And I think I watched some highlights because I tried to start getting into watching draft prospects and stuff. And I think I watched highlights of Devin Claiborne. He's got that home run threat to his game where right now with Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Xavier Scott, they don't really have that home run threat. Aaron Jones used to, maybe not so much anymore. And then also I just saw Ty Chandler sign with, was it the Saints?
Yeah.
Recently. So their running back room is smaller than you'd hope. So they're going to draft or sign some undrafted free agents. And maybe this Devin Claiborne will be one of those guys that are signed or drafted late in the rounds. Any thoughts on those 30 visits?
Well, I don't know. That's a problem anymore. In fact, talking about Heckler getting signed and whatever, yeah, I couldn't even find it anywhere. I heard about it, but it's like the Vikings website, they usually have that stuff there, that the player signed and they 5 things to know about the player and whatever. And I looked on it this morning. There's nothing there about them signing him.
Yeah, it was there this evening for a little while ago. I checked.
Oh, it's on there now. Yeah. See, anyways, you know.
They're always way behind. I always Google Vikings news and rumors and pull up everything. It pulls up everything, all the different sites and different videos out there.
Yeah.
Could go to NFL.com and it might have it on there, but the Vikings team site, they're not going to post something until it's official.
Right.
Well, that's why there's a delay if you're trying to go online to the Vikings website and find the most up-to-date news. It's not up to date.
Right. You hear
It's like
something.
that, tendering that contract, making an offer to that right guard.
Yeah, that won't be on the website.
Yeah, that won't be on there yet because they have 5 days to match it or.
Yeah, the Bills, if I remember correctly, what I heard about the offer sheets or whatever they call it is a team that holds that players' rights, have 5 days to come back with an offer or not, So I think I heard that on O-line committee, Jeremiah Searles, he's an agent, so.
Oh, I didn't know he was an agent too.
Yeah, he been in it for 2 years now, maybe 3. Yeah,
All right.
started his own agent company with somebody else, a couple other guys. In fact, I think they're based in Minnesota.
Who is that?
Jeremiah?
Oh, Jeremiah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremiah.
And of course, him and Alex.
I think he was a
are
bullfrog, wasn't he?
partners For,
Jeremiah.
He was a good old friend of
anyways,
mine.
no, but him and
He was.
Boone got a training facility, and Boone runs stats, for training for the college players and rookie players, the workout and whatever, learn the ropes, So, in fact, they go to the combine with their players that they train. So, yeah, interesting things you learn.
There should be that we should have that runner on the screen like back in the day. They used to have like the NBC and ABC used to have like the educational minutes like every once in a while, and it, like NBC had the things or something like that, and they had like the little rainbow that went across the screen.
Yeah.
We should create that, the things
Oh, some of them made you want to shut it off.
Before we jump into the mock draft, though, I got my memes pulled up here, so we'll just go through those quick. Somebody has to explain this to me, though. So, Vikings versus Packers post game, 2026 colorized.
Really?
I don't know who the quarterback. Is that the love for
It
the
looks
Packers?
like
Kyler Murray. It's like a purple flower. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got this from Reddit, and Reddit. Who knows with
Must
Reddit?
have been something good, and
Yeah. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I thought maybe it was like a Call of Duty reference. I don't know. And we were talking
Maybe.
earlier about the punt and the kickoff, and we don't know the rules. Well, either do these guys.
need to throw that little gangsta song in there.
What Gangster's Paradise, Amish
Right.
Paradise, or you like
The gangsta walk that you see.
But any of you guys know the rules? Nope.
Nope, they're there discussing what the offer was on the call.
Nope. Just winging it.
I saw another version where it's like, hold on, I got the rule book. I got the rule book app on my phone.
You might
I guess
bonus-
I know my face is covered by our logo.
It is.
All right, here's some history, things you know. The last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game, LeBron celebrated his 16th birthday. Tom Brady had thrown 4 career passes. The Nokia 3310 was the best-selling phone, and Wikipedia hadn't launched yet.
Wow.
So, with their fire sale they've been having and like getting rid of all their players, it's going to be probably another 25 years before they win one. All right, and so we saw. I shared this one last week about Tua and his helmet, and we talked about Romeo Dobbs signing with the Patriots. Well, this is going to be Romeo Dobbs's. We talked about it, like how heavy. He's got to be doing some neck workouts. I'm going to do some neck exercises.
Get it?
I mean, he could run into a brick wall. All right, that was fun. But talking about the draft, and the most common player for mock drafts, has been the safety from Oregon, Thieneman. And there's been defensive tackles, and then a couple of corners, and then even like you said, was it Daniel Jeremiah mocked us to get Jeremiah. What the real needs now is Love. But just to kind of get familiar with some of the players, I thought it'd be fun to do a mock draft ourselves. So we'll see how this works out. I'm going to share my screen. What? There we go. Magic.
Hey,
Dang.
sure
Well,
you picked the Vikings.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Why not?
Hopefully that thing doesn't get in the way.
I think I
All
saw.
right. Now, some of them you have to start. All right, so we'll start. Starting the draft. Everybody ready?
I guess.
Oh, no, Jeremiah Love's gone.
Figures. Anybody else gone?
All right, so we have top-ranked players. We have Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end for the Oregon Ducks. And the rest of these players, these are their position ranking. So we have an offensive tackle, we have an edge, an offensive tackle. There's a wide receiver who is kind of highly touted for the Huskies, Washington Huskies. But then we have Thieneman. What do we think?
Yeah.
Say, what kind of stats does the receiver have?
All right, so it doesn't say stats. It just gives his strengths, weaknesses. He's been hurt quite a bit, I think. He is pretty tall though, 6'3", 212. He's kind of lacking the route tree. He doesn't run the full route tree.
Okay, never mind. Skip him. All
No,
right,
I
let's
don't think
go
safety.
with the safety.
We could also field trade offers.
Well, all depends. How far back do we want to go?
Yeah,
What
there's a rumor out there with the trading with the Eagles.
If we go down 2 spots, we can get number 20 and a future pick
what they mean by future.
for the future. I'm going to accept it. All right, we're still sitting with Thieneman. Should we draft him?
I think so.
Yeah.
We still have that tight end.
Pull up his
though.
stats real quick.
What's tight end like? Is that the one you got?
The tight end is I think we're on the clock though. We got to kind of move. So his strengths, I mean, he can play all over the field. I guess they're not. They say he should add structural strength.
Let's go back. Let's take the safety. I think
That was the safety. Kenyon Sadiq, he's only 240 pounds. He's not an inline tight end. He's more of a pass catcher. He does try though. They say when he is trying to block. But again, I think we stick with Thieneman, but it's up to you guys.
I think so.
I think so too.
All right. We kind of drafted for need there, didn't we?
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be a actual starter. We could have got that guy at 40 maybe. All right. And lists here, we need cornerback, nose tackle, center, inside linebacker, running back, wide receiver, nickel corner, tight end, quarterback. Okay. And 5 technique, defensive tackle. Let's see what we get. I don't like that. That's not of good value.
No.
All right. So,
Who's on the list?
and this is where it gets interesting because we don't know any of them. We got Chase is a guard. We don't really need guards, do we?
No, we need.
Do we want to?
Center. Can play center or a cornerback.
We don't want a nickel at at this pick.
No, we don't need that.
There's a running back. Jadarian Price was the backup to Love at Notre Dame. He had pretty good stats too. I don't think he's as good of a player.
Can he block?
He's not a good catcher out of the backfield. Otherwise, there's an edge inside linebacker. There's Jacob Rodriguez. He's a tackling machine.
I heard he was good. Yeah.
I think we can get a center later in the draft, though.
Yeah. Cornerback, right? No, we don't want. Okay. I would say go for the linebacker, Rodriguez. Nice. I heard he was pretty decent.
All right, so we get to sit here for a bit. Oh, wait, no, we have a third rounder, right?
Yeah, we got third rounder, but not a fourth.
There we go, 82. All right, so now we can start looking at positions. This running back, I've heard some good things about him, Mike Washington Jr. He's the highest ranked available player.
Catch out of the backfield.
Doesn't pass protect well.
Fumbles.
Yeah, fumbles.
Yeah.
4.33 speed, though.
We don't need no help with one.
Can't teach speed.
No, can't.
Just run right past the ball.
Slaughter, I heard good things about him as a center, but that'd be almost 22 picks early for him. Corners, got 82, kind of fits right into here. But again, if we're going best players available, I guess he's the best. Here's a corner. Devin Moore. Let's see what he does. Flat-footed, limited experience, only played last year. Wasn't 3 though. That's a tall corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Has injury history. Here's another 6-foot corner. 2
What's his-
turnovers, only 180 pounds.
that'd be a good one, I think.
It says he doesn't have elite length for the position. He's 6 foot or above. What's it mean, elite length?
maybe reach.
For sure.
I don't know.
Maybe he just doesn't utilize his height for the ball.
Yeah, this is a tough decision here.
So who's the top?
That's
for
a running
this?
back.
The running back.
Which, let's go to corners here again. What are the? Yeah, if we're not sold on either of these, but I mean, he's 6'3" at a corner. That's crazy. But he's got a lot of weaknesses. That's weird that he has this many weaknesses. But the next guy below him only has the 5.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He might be the one to go with.
I
Let's
don't
read the
know.
positive. Elite size at 6'2", exceptional hip fluidity and recovery speed, versatile coverage skills, high football IQ, physical presence at catch point, efficient backpedal mechanics, vertical speed to carry most receivers deep and stay on top in zone coverage.
That's the guy. What's his name?
Devin Moore. All right, we'll draft him. You talked me into it. Yeah, this is completely different. Like the way this is breaking down, like compared to what I saw when I was
Football?
messing around. All right, if we move down 10, we can pick up the 141st pick.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
I think we're on the positive side of it.
Yeah. That's it, the late 3rd rounder?
Yeah.
Trading to the 4th round.
All right. So we just picked up the corner. Here's the center.
Yep. Pull 'em up.
Right in the pocket?
Yeah. Otherwise, there's a 3 technique.
More of a 5 technique, don't we?
I don't think there is any 5 techniques.
We see what the center.
No, we just need a big, badass, heavyweight nose tackle.
Oh.
That's what we need.
undersized.
At 303, are we going to have another Garrett Bradbury here?
That's a short arms.
Ooh, that's no good then.
But he's the highest ranked center on that's left. I was hoping we get the
Take him.
Slaughter from Florida. There's another one here. Parker Brails.
Probably where how many things back did Slaughter get chosen?
Ooh, I guess I don't.
Can you go up a little bit? See if that's within the 10 that we
Oh boy, they picked. Oh, that was who we traded.
Oh, did they? Yeah, fuckers.
They did it to us again, Mama.
Has to be
They
bleeding out.
forced a trade on us?
I heard good things about this center though. This Sam Hiked. As long as it's not, I think it's the first 90 seconds. You can't swear. Otherwise, I say we go with this center.
What, the one with the short arms and all?
It'll be Steve. He's the best center available.
Yeah.
We'll get a block stretcher. We'll use a block stretcher on him.
Dano, could you imagine being a T-Rex trying to make a bed with the short arms?
Yeah, we got the guy stolen on the trade we gave. That's not
All right, our pick here. So we have a tight end, the best player available.
What does he do? Or what's its weakness?
He can't count real good. Let's see.
I can't count either, but
Lacks pop at the point of attack as inline blocker, allows defenders into his chest to control engagement. Play strength needs improvement against NFL defensive linemen.
But we need blocker, man. We can't. Says it effective blocker in the run, but then it says he can't block.
Here's that running back that they had for the visit, Damon Claiborne.
Okay, what is he like?
Slightly undersized, may not have top end speed to stretch outside consistently. He's patient, but they say he's too patient. He's not a true 3-down back, so he's more of a kind of change of pace guy. But they say, okay, so they say he doesn't consistently get outside, but then his strengths are speed, stresses, second level pursuit angles.
Who makes these things? I don't think they review anything. Contradict each other on almost every person, at least in a couple.
Well, I think one
Well,
person writes one thing and another person writes another thing. So,
Well,
I don't know,
I'm drafting
Yeah.
this running back.
all right, go for it.
Otherwise, there's this receiver. He can return punts too.
What's his name?
Josh Cameron from Baylor, 6'1", 220 pounds. Quick feet, strong after the catch. He's 6 foot tall, 220 pounds, but it says physical DBs can push him off routes. Doesn't have deep speed.
Okay.
He gives
Running
up.
back. Why not?
He gives up. He's not getting the eyes.
So it's either him or either the receiver or the running back, in my opinion.
I go with the running back. Although we'll need a receiver if they don't find one. Boy, we're a long ways down the road. Okay, what's up?
Boy,
Got any tackles or, defensive linemen?
there's a 3 technique. Oh, here's a 5 technique.
There's 2 5 techniques in a row.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
There's another one down.
What's the weight on the dude?
Low
Kind of
end.
small.
And he's 6'4", 255. Holy shit.
No,
This guy's 280.
280. Yeah.
That's him.
The
That's him.
defensive lineman?
What's the next one
Isn't
down
that
the
kind of
pipe?
light?
No, it isn't. All the way down to Tyler D2, 6'3".
He was a standout, limited scouting data for major outlets. They just don't know much, it's saying. We don't know anything.
Yeah, they don't have enough info on it, but
Excellent burst and quickness of slash pass offensive lineman. Standout at the East-West Shrine Bowl. Good length with 34.25-inch arms. High tempo CC experience at Texas A&M against elite competition.
Well, we got to find someone that run block, or run stuff to run. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, who else is on the list there?
there's a defensive lineman down.
Yeah, all these guys, like, they're either DLs or, well, because I clicked on it, but they're higher. They got some edge rushers. Unless we want to get this, it'd be a bit of a reach for these guys. Let's just wait. Let's just do best player available. Slot receiver here, 4.35 in the 40. It's 5'10", almost 180 pounds. Otherwise, inside linebacker, we got that already. Nadame Tucker, at least pass rush production, elite pass rush. It's easy. Second best PFF pass rush grade in the entire 2026 class.
Yeah, dropped his ass.
All right, and I think we can get a deep tackle later here if we still want to stick with that.
We got to get one.
Hey, they always do good with the undrafted too.
All right, and here we are. Oh, dang. All the 5 texts are gone.
Go fig.
This guy's more of like this, what you're talking about, 323 pounds.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know. I don't know what the tech is in the 3-4. But, yeah, these guys are 300.
I want the big dude.
You want the meats?
I want the beef. Yeah, man.
Explosive interior pass rush. You got that going.
There you go.
Go with him.
It's got a pretty mouth. Big.
I just got to tell you can't find that water boy,
Ooh. This must be the 7th round. We got back-to-back picks.
Jeez.
All right, so we still haven't drafted OT, tight end, wide receiver yet. There's a wide receiver here.
See what
He's
5'11".
short and only ran a 4.5.
Okay. Another
Getting
receiver?
better at that point. But let's see what that Lewis Bond has. Hey, except for the quarterback. We got to have somebody on to make Kyler Murray look a little bit better.
I think that the Devon Archain was only, I think he's like shorter than Kyler. But I don't know. He's ranked up here though. I mean, but would you want to take this 5'9" guy? 5'11". He's almost 6 feet, this guy. But extremely raw. Division 3.
Pretty good size.
He's old though, 24, 25.
Well, that's not.
Oh, that's too old.
He's still young, Dano.
These guys are reaches. How about tight end?
What about the tight end?
I was just seeing where they were ranked. These guys are 260, so they're about 30 picks early. The only ones that fall in the range are these guys. I mean, we can
What
double up
pick
on
are we
corner.
at anyway, 20 something or other?
We're at 234.
Yeah, well, shit.
We could double
So
up on
you
edge.
mentioned the tight end?
The tight ends are about 30 picks away from us.
Well,
But this
we're
guy
not
would be
gonna
good
have
value.
any
He's
other
230, 231 edge, and we're drafting at 234. There's
Didn't we
another
already get
safety.
an edge?
There's another running back. Yeah, we already got an edge, but you can always double up if he's the best player available.
That's true.
But then you can think about special teams if we want to draft another safety. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
I don't know. What you guys think? I don't know.
I think sometimes it's almost like judging a book by its cover. Just you're judging somebody based on their name. What do you think, Tom, John?
Yeah, it's hard to say who you want to pick here. I honestly don't know a lot of them.
We want to kind of stay in the pick range, but
Let's go.
What about Cole there that you're on?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe draft him. He's a safety, and then draft another edge. Or there's a running back right here too.
So you can go with Cole and you can go with, I bet you.
what's a running back like? What is?
He played for Navy.
Oh.
6 foot, almost 200, 4'4". Good hands. He can catch out of the backfield. Explosive agility in tight quarters. Good vision on inside runs and zone scheme. Tough, durable runner who falls forward consistently. Tracks the ball well down the field. Tough, willing blocker, unafraid to be lead blocker.
Sounds good to me.
Go for him.
All right. Ooh, look at was this one of the future picks we picked up here? Okay, so we're at 244. Another
Tight
edge,
end.
another running back.
Tight end.
Williams for linebacker.
That's a name. Gooby dooby doo. Nothing listed on this Xavion Thomas. It's a kind of outsider range, not too bad. No, can't see that.
We don't have another pick, do we?
I think this is our last pick.
Yeah. So receiver, tight end, none of them.
This Xavion Thomas is a slot, 5'10", 190. He flies, 4'2", 840. Otherwise Kendrick Law, explosive dynamic receiver. One of the most explosive and twitchy players in the draft class. I mean, it's late in the round. Should we take a flyer?
Yeah, why not?
Pull the trigger. And hopefully this is one of the sites that'll grade the draft. Boy,
A-.
What did we get?
That's not bad at all.
it doesn't give you an overall, but we
it
got a
gives
B
you
for
a
the first
grade
pick.
for each pick.
Yeah, it'll grade you for each pick. So B for the first one, B minus. Got an A for that corner. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Better than that.
We got an A minus for that safety I pulled out of my butt.
Yeah, that's good.
I
All
got
right.
the center B plus.
Okay.
What is the rate? The worst pick was that that edge rusher that was supposed to be the best or second best edge rusher. They gave us we picked him a pick early, and they gave us a B minus.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. Do you want to do another
Yeah.
one? That's already past 8. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Better out here
Well
soon,
done
guys.
next week.
All right. Well,
We'll do another one next week.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Any final thoughts?
Well, I
Really?
guess, I mean, the only thing is, we'll see how that works out. We'll be past 5 days on that offer they gave, so we'll know whether we have that person or not.
Yeah, then we'll see if they sign somebody else or
Yeah. Trade comes in for anything. Anything could happen at this point.
yeah.
Well, even though they say Addison is in the plans for a future contract, I mean, we've heard it before, and I mentioned it before. Spillman was famous for saying, "Oh, we're not trading Percy Harvin," and then they trade Percy Harvin. It turned out well for the Vikings, though.
Right.
But-
Got Jefferson
Yeah.
out of the deal.
Well, let's hope all that voodoo is gone. We got this year's different for us. And, they got rid of Quasey just before the draft. So it's up to Brzezinski and O'Connell and Flores.
All right. Well, if you like what you saw here, like and subscribe. Check us out on our other platforms. With that, we'll see you next week. Skol Vikings.
Yes. Next week, Skol.
Let's win the game.
Fun time in the summer.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot.
We started
Oh,
it.
yeah, I thought it was 4.
Okay.
Something new every time. So it should be about an hour or less, depending
Yeah,
on how
well.
much we go off on random tangents. Sidetracked. It's already past tense. How can you past tense a past tense? Throw some kitty litter down. Helps with the traction. Anybody else have anything else they want to talk about or add to the list before we get started?
No, I think we're